Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So this week's event, Grimoire of Darkness, has just begun. I didn't do a preview video yesterday because I wanted to combine both a review of the cards themselves and also talk about the strategies around the cards that I am using for this event, and also basic general tips and guides on how to be successful in Commander events, and also talk about some of the news feeds that have come in the last day as well as today. So first, let's talk about the cards themselves. So this is in the collections area. And if you were around for one of the last Fire Commander events before the Cosmic Egg Hunt, this deck is extremely similar to that. So let's talk about those. So Etienne Stone Scale is the free card that you can get. And again, a free card is the one that you can collect just by playing through the game and collecting tokens. And you can collect that later on. So this card at 6 stars, let's make sure we look at the 6-star stats. The battle skill here will attack for 1,250% times the attack and add 10 corrupt intensity. And if the target is below 35% max, it'll attack again for attack times 200% per 5 intensity. So it's a very miniature nuking card compared to some of the previous nuke cards that we've seen, such as, Gladia, for example, is one such card, or Unchained Evangela. So it's not very effective though. I've used a very similar card, and that is Eva from the red card. So this card is okay. I think really this is only useful for generating corrupt intensity, and as a sort of a nuke by itself, I don't really depend on that. There's a lot of other cards that are better for it, so I wouldn't count on that. Kaliba is the event card, and this is basically a gem destroyer. So I'll look at the 5-star stats. It destroys 12 non-dark gems plus 2 additional gems for every 30 corrupt intensity. And so this is, a weaker version of the Fallen one, which you can see is actually part of a collection that you can get. So let's take a look at Fallen one. So this is a attacker god hero, so it doesn't get boosted by the corrupt stats, unfortunately, but it is a very good card to have. And his battle skill is destroys all non-dark gems and attacks for 850% attack. So it attacks and destroys gems, and it doesn't require any intensity, whereas a Kaliba will require you to actually build up intensity before you can destroy all the non-dark gems on the board. But it is important for this card to be in your arsenal though, because she will counter fear. So fear is one of the most annoying boss skills, I believe, here. And so you want to have her in your deck because it is a corrupt card that you can boost. And if not, you'll have to find alternatives to try and dispel it. Now let's talk about the ultra rare and the ultra rare. So the Guardian of Gaul is the attacker corrupt card, and this card at 5 stars will create 1 Power Gem 2 plus an additional Dark Power Gem 2 for every 10 dark gems on the board. Right, so this is now the same as the Crimson Vengeance, which actually, but it used to only create Power Gem once, and now this has been boosted to Power Gem 2. Now, this is not dependent on intensity. This card only uses intensity for its passive, where it also increases the drop rate of your dark gems depending on the intensity. So I'm hoping that they've made some changes to make this a little better, because in the past what I've seen is intensity doesn't actually help that much. Like, you can have really high intensity count and the drop rate still isn't quite as good as some of the previous cards pre-intensity. So let's see how they do. Now the ultra rare card, now this is really cool. So Gawara is the times 13 hero, and her battle skill will create 1 Dark Power Gem 3 plus 1 additional Dark Power Gem 3 for every 5 dark gems on the board. So given this that this is a dark corrupt event, you can easily mix this with a Thrall deck if you have it, and what it'll give you is a full board of gems, and then you'll be able to create an additional 8 Power Gem 3s on your board. So you'll easily be able to take out any boss with this card. So it is very powerful, and also has the same passive that does increase the drop rate. So these are the cards here. It is a much more powerful version of the previous Valadim deck, because the ultra rare card generates Power Gem 3s, and I believe at 6 stars the ultra rare should also generate Power Gem 3s, but that remains to be seen. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about some of the other cards here. So, you know, Nidorn the Black is a Warden card that they've now converted into a commander card as well. It is a corrupt hero, so you can actually include him in your deck and still get the boost. And it does have a decent battle skill in that it will increase the enemy's turn counter by 1, as well as attack for an additional 500% attack. I have him at 6 stars, so we can take a look at that. And so let's take a look at the cards now that I have built around. So I have a couple decks. One is built around the free card you can get, and then the other is based on some other cards that I have available. And really, it's a mixture of the Thrall deck in there. Like, I can't just get away from there because I have this deck. I definitely want to use it. And really, this is just a way to mix it up. So one of the examples here I have is using Lady Agista, that basically increases the that boosts the Dark Attacker card. And then I can use Sir Elric of Bryn, which is a human hero, and that allows me to use the human relic, and also the fallen one here because I can benefit from the 10 times gem bonus. And then this is where I'm using God's Flesh and also Narfunk the Beat Devil to generate gems, dark gems, to increase my overall attack. This is not going to be the right kind of deck to face the guild boss just yet. So what I likely will do is, if I get the Kaliba, then I will excuse me, I will replace the fallen one with her, because they basically do the same thing here, and I can get a boost there. So this is one example of a deck that I built. Another one is another variation of the Thrall deck, where you use Thrall as the leader that boosts all corrupt heroes. Victus is another one. Fallen one, again, just because it's a bonus card. And then I actually did put Nidorn in here. So at 6 star, it will also attack for another 600% of attack, which is okay. But what I wanted to feature here is, I haven't used this card a lot. So Archdemon Lucifel is also a corrupt hero, and for a Warden card, it has pretty good attack bonus, actually. So the attack damage is not too bad. And the leader skill, the battle skill here, it will sacrifice 25% of your current health to increase the attack of this card by 250% for the rest of the battle. So I want to show you what this looks like. And if you're able to heal, and also if you're able to use this a couple times, you can boost this card by quite a bit, and you can really see the damage go up. So let's first use a couple of decks here, and we'll see how this goes. So I do have a Crusade here, so let's go into a battle. And this is where, hopefully a lot of your allies are using Thrall as the leader, so definitely want to take advantage of that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this deck in. I'm going to use all 5 of my Corrupt Relic. So let's go ahead and do a fight here. So let's show you what this looks like. And now, the way that you want to play commander events is really, you want to focus on, there's 2 types. There's the wave, the one for the waves, which is what I'm doing right now, and then the other is the guild boss. So you want to have 2 different types of decks. The one for the waves, at a later stage, I think you're gonna find that you'll want to find a deck that allows you to really create gems wave after wave, so that you can increase your likelihood of defeating the boss. And so bringing in something like Thrall or God's Flesh is going to be helpful, and also any cards that can destroy gems. So in this case, Fallen One is another option. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to boost Lucifel, and you can see there that there is actually a counter. So it says that it's going to be for the duration of the entire match, but really what they just did was they put 1,000 counter on it. And so at this point, I have a 250% boost, in addition to the 300% boost on this boss, on this card. So I'm already getting a huge damage boost to this card. And so now let's go ahead and I can show you what I mean. For now, I can go ahead and create, actually I should have done Victus first and then Thrall, but it's okay. And then use the Fallen One to just go ahead and drop all of the dark gems so that they line up nicely, and this should take care of them easily. So with this deck, you should be able to go through at least the the Infernal pretty easy, or the Elite pretty easily. I'm not sure how well it'll do in Infernal in terms of 3-starring it, but for now you should have no problem with this. And then so this shouldn't take it out just yet, so then at least it'll increase the counter by a little bit. Let's go ahead and use Thrall again, and let's see if we have any dark gems that line up. We don't, but like I said, it's okay because it's not that difficult right now, so we should be able to take this boss out no problem. And so so this is basically the deck itself, but like what I wanted to do is try and go against a guild boss and see how we do. Now in order to do that, I need to change my cards a little bit. And so if we go to the boss arena, let's go and take a look at this boss here, and I'll change this deck just a little. So with this one, unfortunately, I need something to get rid of the fear, and so I'm going to swap it out for a dark card that does dispel fear, and I'm going to bring Crow's Prototype because it's at 5 stars, so I can use this. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a quick fight and see how we do here. And hopefully what I can do is I can actually get my Lucifer to be powered up a couple of times. So let's see how this goes. And now bringing in... Oh, it looks like somebody was already attacking this. So let's go and do another one. Okay. Now bringing in a Warden has a benefit in that you will most likely guarantee that your Dispel will work, especially if it's at 5 stars or higher. At 4 stars, you should still have a pretty good frequency of this happening. But definitely by 5 stars or higher, you're basically guaranteed that you're always going to dispel it. So let's see here. I also want to make sure that I don't lose my health too much, because I did lose 25% of my health, and since I'm only one keying it, let's see. I might be able to handle this. Okay, I think I could. Let's just see here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick heal. Let's hope I don't die. Okay, good. Now let's go ahead and use this. I could have also increased this turn, but now let's see how much damage Lucifer is gonna deal. So you can see that Lucifer, I actually, it's already close to my Thrall cards. My Thrall cards were maxed, and Lucifer isn't. So it's kind of nice I was able to boost his attack to, and I hardly put any bonus into it. So it's nice I was able to boost his attack to do enough damage to help out the entire deck. So I think that it's a pretty nice card for me to actually put in there. And then finally, I have also the full Thrall deck. If you're using it, if you have a full Thrall deck, it's better for you to take out one of your ultra rare cards if you're running with 3. So my recommendation is to put in Thrall and God's Flesh, and then have Narfunk and Victus in your card, and then have another card that actually dispels fear. Because with this setup, you're going to have a guarantee minimum 4 power gems, as opposed to the other setup. If you bring in, if you were to take out either Victus or Narfunk, you're going to only have 3 power gems in that setup. So this is actually going to be a little bit more advantageous for you. It's just that you have to deal with the Narfunk's playstyle. So that's the setup I would recommend. Now, another thing that I just wanted to quickly update. So there's a news that had come in for, so if you take a look at the news feed, they actually also introduced a new thing for a guild league. And so this is something where I'm not sure what it's going to be like yet. It does depend on your guild leader's score for this event, but they are going to introduce tiers and leagues in guild versus guild. So that's something I'll talk about in the future. And then the other thing here is they are going to introduce more they are going to introduce more legendary bosses, and to help you with the legendary bosses, you can now get spell scrolls for your guild, for your vault. And unlike the last guild vault, the scrolls here actually will help increase damage as opposed to reduce the armor. And so the way you look at it is, if you look at the screen, you'll notice that there's a vault collect here. And if you click on it, you can't really do anything. All it's really here is for you to collect something. But if you wanted to actually get the scrolls, you need to go and look at the top here where it says open. This is where you can then redeem your items, and it depends on the number of tokens you have. You collect tokens through solo bosses, and if you wanted to see what's available, you can see in here. Here are all the different scrolls that you can get, and let's take a look here. For example, if we wanted to get a dark scroll, it will increase the damage of all of your heroes. And it will increase the damage dealt to light legendary bosses for 30% for every commander on the team. Now, it does say it applies to Crusader events, but I'm not sure if this is going to be a one-time event only deal, like if you lose the scroll after this event or not. I'm not sure. But so this is just like the last event. It's a guild vault, so there is only one vault. If you clear it as a guild, then there is nothing left for everybody. So keep that in mind. And so the last thing I wanted to give you an update on is keep an eye out for the star next to your guild boss. The stars represent the slot where a legendary boss is more likely to appear. Okay, so if you see a star there and if you clear a boss out, it's more likely that the next boss is going to be a legendary, which will give you more trophies. So something to keep in mind. So anyways, that's all for this episode. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if there's any feedback, and let me know your thoughts on this particular vault event. I'm still hoping for a future vault event that does contain cards, but right now this is a little bit better than the last time, so I'm going to play through here and we'll see how it goes. And as I get more updates, I'll also try and provide them as well. So thanks again for your time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.